So, good evening, everyone. I'm Krishna, a technical coordinator at AWS Cloud Club St.Joseph Group of Institutions, and it is my pleasure to welcome you all to this exciting session on Jenkins and maven mission. We are thrilled to have Soundariya and Varneth with us, who will be guiding us through the topic. With their expertise and hands-on experience, they will demonstrate us on how to use Jenkins and Maven to work together and make the automation more seamless and effective. Thank you all for joining us today. Your eagerness to learn is what makes the session so valuable. Without further ado, let's dive into the Jenkins and Maven automation. I now hand over to Soundariya and Varneth for this session.
Okay, good evening, guys. Whether am I audible and visible to you? Whether am I audible? Can anyone respond?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes, we are audible.
Yeah, okay. So, good evening, all. I'm Soundariya here. I hope some of you guys have attended the previous two sessions of DevOps tools, that is Docker and Kubernetes. So, this session is followed by that session, that is a DevOps tool called Jenkins. So, before starting into the session, I would like to give a small intro about Jenkins. So, when compared to other DevOps tool, Jenkins is not a independent tool. Why I'm telling Jenkins is not independent in the sense, for example, Docker and Kubernetes can deploy a whole project by itself. But when compared to that, Jenkins can't deploy a project by itself. Why? Because Jenkins is the integration of other DevOps tools like Docker and Kubernetes. If it is integrated with some other tool only, it can completely provide a full end-to-end DevOps project. So that's a basic intro of Jenkins. So I'll just show my screen. Whether my screen is visible?
Yeah.
Okay. So before starting into the session, I'll tell that Jenkins is a very basic topic. Like Jenkins is not a big task to understand. Why? Because when compared to Docker and Kubernetes, it is a big tool to learn and accommodate with projects like so. Jenkins is not like that. It is a very small concept, and hands-on is also will be very easy. So just feel free to interact with me, and you can ask any questions, and you can stop me at any time. You can ask your questions to me. So myself, Soundariya, will go on to the theory part, and Varnith will be show you the hands-on that project demo of Jenkins. So let's start into the session. That is workshop series episode 8, Pipeline Wizards Mastering Jenkins and Maven Automation on AWS. So I'll show you the agenda. So these are the topics you are going to see in this session. What is DevOps? What is CI/CD pipeline? Build and deployment, Jenkins, master slave, Jenkins file, and project demo. Why I'm including DevOps and CI/CD pipeline in Jenkins means before going into Jenkins, we have to understand what is DevOps and what is CI/CD pipeline. So anyone can answer what is DevOps? It can be a simple answer also. Try to answer. Anyone? Okay, let it be. DevOps is nothing but it is two teams combined together. That is developer team and operation team. Okay. So what's the role of developer team is that, for example, if you're creating any project, that is a whole end-to-end project means a project needs a base of code. So for code, we need a developer team who writes the code, tests the code, and they will put the code into some GitHub repo, like example GitHub repo. Okay, so that's a role, that's a only role of developer. They will not go into the part of deployment, packaging, etc. and all. Their role is to only write the code, test the code, and they have to put the code into a platform which is a version controlling. So that's the role of developer team. And the role of operation team is that after the code has been in the GitHub repo, they have to take that updated code and they have to build it, package it into a software, and they have to deploy it into a whole application. So that's the role of operation team. Combining that developer team and operation team, which combines together, it forms a DevOps. So we can't do everything manually, right? So like if you are writing a code manually and testing the code manually, putting the code into a GitHub repo manually, and packaging it manually, building it manually, and deploying it manually, it's a big task for nowadays. It will be a big task. Why? Because for example, developer one is writing a code for today, means the next day a developer two will come into that scene and they will modify that code. It can be a small modification. If there is a small modification also, from the scratch you have to again build it, test it, package it, and again you want to deploy it. It can't be done manually. So in that case, we are doing everything automatically, and at the end we'll get the software delivery faster and more reliable. So that's called DevOps. So can you understand what's DevOps and what's the role of developer team and operation team? Is there any doubt in this? Can anyone answer? Is there any doubt, or shall I proceed?
Just proceed.
Yeah, okay, done. So this is called as DevOps, and now going with CI/CD pipeline. CI/CD pipeline is nothing but it is continuous integration and continuous deployment. I'll show you a workflow of CI/CD pipeline. Can you able to see this image? Okay. So as I said, the developer role is to build the code, test the put the code into a GitHub repo. So up to this will be the part of up to this GitHub will be the part of developer team, and the rest, this is a building deployment, will be coming under operation team role. Okay. So putting the code and writing the code is the part of CI, that is continuous integration. Continuous integration is that they have to take the code and they have to merge it to the application. Okay. And the continuous deployment is nothing but they have to take the updated code, they have to build it, package it, and deploy it. So this is called as continuous integration and continuous deployment. So pipeline is not a single tool like Jenkins, Docker, or Kubernetes. Keep a note on it. This is not a tool. It is just a workflow of how a project is done. A CI/CD pipeline is a series of tasks. For example, if you're taking a project, means we need to assign some tasks to tools, right? So first I need to I have to write the code, and next I have to repo it, and next I have to build the code, and next I have to package it, and next I have to deploy it. So these are the series of tasks. I'm assigning certain tasks to complete my whole end-to-end project. So that task is called as, that is the series of tasks is called as CI/CD pipeline, which is very easily understandable for the users. Okay. So this is called as CI/CD pipeline, and this is all the content about it. And next, going on with what is Jenkins. So Jenkins is nothing but it is an independent. It is not an independent tool. It is a dependent tool which we use in DevOps project to complete our end-to-end project. Why I'm telling it is dependent means, as I told you in the start of the session itself, it can't be run independently. It is an integration tool which we use in the middle of the project only. Like Docker is used for creating containers, and Kubernetes is used for orchestration of container. Jenkins can't do that type of role in project. It has to integrate some tool. Like for example, you can take a Docker aside and you can take a GitHub repo aside. That communication between these two tools is called as Jenkins. That's the role of Jenkins. So Jenkins is a free and open source software. Open source software is nothing but it is not licensed, so every users, it is publicly accessible. Every users from everywhere can easily access to that Jenkins platform. It is very free of cost, and Jenkins is developed by Java. It is fully Java oriented language. That is like if the code is fully of Java, means that file we use in Jenkins is of var file, war file. And if the code is of Java plus Spring Boot, means that file is converted into a jar file, that is jar file. So keep a note on it. Java plus Spring Boot means it is converted into jar file, and it is only Java means it is converted into war file. Okay, can you understand this? Okay, next, as I told you before, Jenkins is the integration tool which we use in CI/CD pipeline. It is an assistant of CI. You can keep it as assistant of CI/CD pipeline. To complete the series of tasks, we are using Jenkins as an integration tool. So that's called as Jenkins. And you can see I've left over this third point, that is Jenkins is used to automate build and deployment process. You can think what is build deployment process. Build deployment process is nothing but, as I told you before itself, that is just a workflow of a project. Assigning task is called as build and deployment process. For here also I've taken an example project of creating a container. Okay, so here I'm assigned 6 tasks. This is called as 6 jobs I have assigned. Okay, so first job is take latest source code from GitHub. So developer will put the code into GitHub. There it is stored as source code. Source code is nothing but the code which we use to run the application. And the next step is that compile project source code. And next I'm compiling that project. Next I'm testing if there is any errors in that project. And next I'm packaging it. And next I'm building an image. And next I'm creating a container. You can think I didn't use Jenkins here. Where I'm using Jenkins, you can think where I'm using Jenkins is that I'll show you. Here certain arrow marks are there, right? Red color arrow marks. Can you able to see that? Here is a work of Jenkins. So after I'm putting the code into GitHub, it will trigger the Jenkins, and the Jenkins will alert the next tool like maven. So it will alert the maven, and the maven will be build the code, and next again the Jenkins will be triggered, and again it will alert the Docker to build the image. After the image has been built, again the Jenkins will be triggered, and then it will alert a message to Docker container, and then at the end a container will be fully deployed. So this is a work and process of Jenkins. So now we can understand that Jenkins is not an independent tool, it is just an integration between two tools, right? So this arrow mark is a work of Jenkins. Communication between two tools, that is integration. So from here you can understand that after I'm putting the code into GitHub, it will be Jenkins will be triggered, and the project code will be compiled. And then after it is compiled, again the Jenkins will be triggered, and the unit test case will be run. Unit test case is nothing but the modifications of code. If the developer one has set the code as in format, and the developer two has changing some changes in that code, means again from the start you have to change it, you have to build it, package it. So if there is any error at the middle of the modification, means this unit test case will alert you. And after the test case has been completed, again Jenkins will be triggered, and the package of application will be converted into jar or war file according to that code which we have given. And after that again it will be triggered, and that image will be built, and after that again Jenkins will be triggered, and a Docker container will be fully deployed. Can you understand now what is Jenkins and what's the role of Jenkins? Can anyone respond for this? Is there is any doubt? Anyone? Okay, anyone? Okay, fine, nice. So this is all about Jenkins. What's the role of Jenkins? Now going on with Jenkins architecture. Jenkins architecture is fully depend upon master and node concept. From the name itself, we can understand that what is master and what is node. Master is nothing but it is a main machine, and node is the assistant of that main machine. Okay, so as I said, that whole task is all about jobs. It is a series of jobs, a series of tasks to complete a certain project. So you can think that how can these jobs will be understandable, and how can these jobs will be run, and how can these jobs will be triggered after one job is completed. So that will be done by masters and node only, and this is called as masters and node concept. Master is a main machine, and node is the assistant of that master machine. The master role is to control and manage the whole Jenkins operation, like For example, you can take three jobs. Okay, so building an image, building container, and the deployment of container, and then testing the code. These are three jobs I'm assigning. Master won't process that jobs. Rather than that, it will assign these three jobs to the node which will do the job. Okay, so master's job only is to schedule the job and distribute the job to the nodes. The nodes can be they can be multiple nodes, so it will just assign each task to one node. So one node should do this and one node should do that. Like that, it will its work is to just to assign certain task only. And after the master scheduled some jobs or distributes the job, the node work is to complete the task. After it completes a task, again the alert will be given to master, and the master will give that the job is completed, the whole project has been completed. Like that, it will give a progress for us. So this is a work of master and node. Okay, can you understand what is master and node? Can anyone respond?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, done. So you can ask any doubts if you have. Up to this, everyone is clear, I hope so. So I'm just moving into next. So as I told you before, CI/CD pipeline is just a series of tasks or workflow that is a pictorial representation, right? Which is understandable for us only. But how can system will understand that pictorial representation? You will have that question. Machines can't understand that type of representation. So in that case only, we will use Jenkins file concept. Jenkins file concept is nothing but it's very easy. Pipeline as a code. Okay, can you understand pipeline as a code? So CI/CD pipeline is a workflow which is represented in a pictorial format which is easily understandable for us. But Jenkins file is a pipeline as a code which is given in the format of script, and it will be easily understandable for compute machines which we use. Okay, and the files like Jenkins file is of two types. One is declarative pipeline and scripted pipeline. This is nothing but the format which we write the script. There is two type of format in which we write the script. One is declarative pipeline format and another one is scripted pipeline format. Okay, and the scripted pipeline format is a first format which came into the picture while the Jenkins file came, and declarative pipeline is came now only. So this is a recent pipeline format, and scripted is older version of pipeline format. And nowadays, we all the developers will go only for declarative pipeline. Why? Because when compared to scripted pipeline, declarative pipeline is very easily readable and understand, and we can write the code easily. That is, we can write the script easily. Even a non-programmer can also write the script in declarative pipeline format. Whereas in scripted pipeline, it depends upon a language called as Groovy language. Keep a note on it. That is a Groovy language, because while you know that Groovy language fully only, you can write the whole script. That means you have to be a pro in your programming skills. So if you are a pro in programming only, you can write the Jenkins file in a scripted pipeline. So in that case, we are moving into declarative pipeline, which is very readable for the users, and even non-programmers can also write the script easily. So as in Java, Python, we have like system.out.println and public class main. We have certain syntax, right? So like that syntax in declarative pipeline also, we will be having some syntax like stages, steps, post, and agent. These syntax will be covered in your hands-on session, and that will be done by Varneth. And up to this is a concept of Jenkins. As I told you before itself, Jenkins is a very small concept. So if you have any doubt, please you can ask me your doubts, so that everyone who is in the session also can clarify their doubts. If it even if it is a small doubt, you can ask me. Can anyone or everyone understood the concept? I need response. Anyone? Yeah, okay, then I'll just hand it over to Varnith for a hands-on session. Varnith, you can
Thank you.
proceed with hands-on.
Okay, thank you, Soundariya, for your explanation. Okay, let me start the session from now on. Hello, everyone. Myself, Varnith. I'm going to. Uh,
Varnith, 1 second. 1 second. Sorry to interrupt you.
okay,
Sujan
okay.
Ravichandran has raised your hand. Can I know what is your question? Sujan?
No, no, no.
Yeah, okay, okay. Varnith, you can proceed with your hands-on.
Okay, as Soundariya said, Jenkins is made using Java. And Jenkins is used for CI/CD pipeline, which is continuous integration. For integration, we need mainly Jenkins. It will connect with the other DevOps tools. And the next. Okay, let's start the session. Okay, first, coming there.
Varnith.
Sir, I have some network issues as well.
Okay, okay.
Okay. For Jenkins, we are going to use EC2 instance.
Varnith, just give an overview about what you are going to do so that we can
Okay.
understand.
Okay. In this session, we are going to see about Jenkins integration with GitHub, Docker, and Maven. From Jenkins will pull code from GitHub, and then it will build a image, and then it will deploy in container, in a containers likewise in Docker. We are going to make it as a continuous integration, which will be automated using Jenkins. We'll see that using EC2 instance. Here we are going to use Ubuntu OS because Ubuntu will be easy to use. And then in here t2.micro, which will not be enough for which will be not enough storage and then RAM. So we are going to use T2 medium. In T2 medium, we will be having 4 gigabytes of memory. In a T2 micro, we will be having 1 gigabyte of memory. So for downloading the Docker and Jenkins, it will not be enough storage. So we are using T2 micro. In T2 medium. In T2 medium, we will be having for 0.496 USD per hour, which will not be, which is negligible. And then for okay. In security groups, security Jenkins will be using 8080 port number, so that we have to enable 8080 port number, which is Jenkins default port. Here for SSH, we will be using 22 port number for connecting with Ubuntu using instant connect or PuTTY, etc. And then 8080 port number, which is Jenkins default port number, so we have to enable that. And 9090 will be using for Docker containers, etc. Which Maven also will be having 8080 port number as default. So we have to change the port number. So I'm enabling 9090 also. In here we can see Ubuntu public IP. I'm not going to use instance connect. I'm going to use MOBA, which will be easy to connect. Here I will paste IP address, and then for OS is Ubuntu. Okay. For advanced, we have to give private key for to connect with the Ubuntu OS or anything. You have to specify the name correctly because it will not connect when you are giving the wrong name. Private key is like a lock for a house. It's a key for a house. Then first we have to update the Ubuntu, which will not be having the latest version of Ubuntu. So we have to use a command called sudo apt update. It will take some time. Next, we are going to download a Java compiler because Jenkins is made using Java and developed using Java. So we need a Open JDK 17, which is mostly used in Jenkins because other versions will not work with the Jenkins. So we have to use 17,000. I can share the comments in message box if you are going to do the um, if you are willing to do the in inter if you if you're willing to do the practical, you can copy the comments and paste it. If anyone is interested in doing it, you can take the session slowly. Here we got the Open JDK version 17. Next, for whenever you are downloading Jenkins, we have to use Jenkins documentation. Which will be having the latest versions. So you have to use Jenkins documentation. For any DevOps tools, you have to use the tools documentation. Okay, sudo JDK. This week release. After downloading every plugins, like we can start the Jenkins. It may take some time, so you have to wait because it will download more files. Next, we have downloaded the Jenkins. We have to enable next. We have to enable the Jenkins, and then we have to start it. For for enabling Jenkins, we have to use sudo systemctl enable Jenkins. Then we have to start it. And then we have to start the code. Now Jenkins has started. We can view it using port. Uh, Here I will view it. First, you have to copy the local address. Copy the public address. We can use Jenkins is using port 8080, so you have to use port 8080. Now uh, to get the administrative code, you have to copy it and then you have to see the code in Ubuntu. Sudo cat. Cat is to view it inside a file, and you have to paste the path in which Jenkins has given. Uh, this is the code to open Jenkins. And then we can paste it in Jenkins. We have to install every suggester plugin, because if we didn't install suggester plugin, Jenkins dashboard will be empty. And then if you know which plugin is needed, then we can avoid using suggester plugin. You can learn about plugin when you know about Jenkins more, and then you have to have more experience using Jenkins. Then only you can avoid your suggested plugins. It will take more times for if your network is.
Uh, can everyone do a side by as Varnith is doing? Or if you want to slow down your work, Varnith will share the code like commands in a group so you can follow it by that. Okay. If you have any doubt, also you can pass him and you can ask your doubts towards him, or you can ask towards me also.
Okay, we have downloaded the suggested plugins. Then we can give username, admin password, form password. You should not share username or password with anyone, because here we got the URL for Jenkins. Start using Jenkins. Okay. In Jenkins, we'll be having create a job or a new item for creating or deploying any tools. I'll be using. Here we got freestyle pipeline, multi configuration projects, etc. But we'll be using here pipeline. Freestyle is mostly used for easy configurations or small configurations, and pipeline will be used for complicated configurations or integrations using DevOps tools. Uh, Biggest key difference between freestyle project and pipeline is freestyle will be having GUI for communications or using it, but pipeline will be using scripted language uh, for interaction. So I'll be using pipeline Jenkins. Jenkins first project. Okay, and be using pipeline. As I said, the pipeline will be used for complicated inter and pipeline will be using for complicated projects, and then freestyle will be using for easy projects. So now we can see pipeline. Uh, Here you got description. I'll be writing. This is my first Jenkins project. Now, uh, here is where I'll be applying the script. In script, there is two pipeline is declarative script, which will be similar to English. Mostly, everyone will be using declarative pipeline, and then scripted pipeline. Scripted this one will be using GUI script, which is complicated, and then mostly everyone doesn't use it because this declarative pipeline script is very easy, which will be similar to English. In here we can save. Uh, First I'll be going in it, and then I will build it. You have to view build if you are not using trigger. We can view output your output of console. In before we got the output as hello world, which I gave in script configure. See, here I gave the echo hello world, which is printed in our output. In we have to connect every tool, maven, docker, and then say GitHub. Everything we will be connecting using script. First, we'll be first copying file from clone GitHub, which will be cloning. It will make it as automatic using the script stage git clone and then git URL. Hello. Git clone. If you don't know how to use declarative script, we can generate it using in this. Here we have to choose git and then repository. I have it here. You have to take the GitHub URL. Also, you just have to copy the GitHub to clone it. You have to copy it and then Jenkins. You can paste it here. Then which branch you have to see. It is master branch. And then if you have given certain else, you have to give the password and username. But if it is in if it is in public, you don't need to give. You can just give generate and we got it. You just have to copy it and paste it in Jenkins instead of in steps. Then you have to apply and then save it. Now I'm going to build the Jenkins first. After building into in console output, Jenkins has taken the code from GitHub and then it has downloaded. Next step is you have to use maven, which will be turning the files into jar file or a war file. So we have to automate that. Configure. We have to add it in script. I have it here. Next stage. Uh, Here maven built. Then apply. We have to build it now. We'll be having error because we didn't download a maven in Jenkins. You see, not found. Maven is not found. You don't need to download maven because we can integrate it. It will be maven will be in Jenkins manage tool. In that tools will be let's see dashboard manage Jenkins. In tools we'll be having on configuration in which that in that we can use maven. Here we got maven, add maven. You have to give maven name. I am giving m3 and then you have to you can choose the maven version. I'm giving the latest version of maven. Mostly in a DevOps interview they will be asking which version we are using, so that everyone have to note the versions which we are using. I'm using 3.9 3.9.9 and then apply and then save. Even if I build it now, I'll be having an error because I didn't here I got error because I didn't in script I didn't add the maven. Here it gave us not found, so I'm going to add it in script. Configure. Here I have to add a stage any. I have to give it as I have to give it as tools maven name. Stage tools. Stage any tools. TOOS MVN and we can apply it. So I'm going to build it now. Uh, oh, eh, sorry guys, I have to give Maven here. Maybe I can do. Okay, this is the correct syntax. I forgot the syntax. Okay, we can build it now and then we can see if you have any error. Uh, Staging. Okay, we didn't get an error. It is a success. Then country output. Here, after we downloaded the Maven, we have to download the letter files, which is this one. Uh, we can see the war file in the place where target and war file. Maven has converted the file into war file. We can view it by copying. I'll be copying it first. Copy. I'll be pasting it here. Sudo cd t. Mobile is slow, so you have to take some time. Uh, uh, Here I will be adding cd and paste the path. Uh, then ls. Say here I got a target. In target will be having the war file. Target and then war file. Because Maven will convert every file into war file, so it will be easy to configure. The next, oh, I forgot. Next, we have to configure. I have got the files from GitHub and then builded the Maven. Next, I have to convert this file into image. So I need steps as Docker image. I have to copy it and then paste here. Docker file. CKR. Docker image sketch. In sketch, you have to give the code which will be running in Docker. So you have to give Docker Docker build name Docker image. Docker. I'm going to build the image class T. This for a Docker image name. I'm going to give it as Varneth. I'm going to give my name. That's all. Then apply. Save it. And I'm going to build it now. In in DevOps, we have to configure the errors, and then which will be our most work. We just have to copy it and then paste it. I have Docker. Oh, I didn't download the Docker, so now I have to download it. It did not find Docker because I didn't download it. Still, for downloading Docker, um, first it will copy the error code from online and then it will paste it here. Uh, Here I'm going to paste the codes for downloading Docker and sudo everything Docker version also. It will take some time because Docker it will download nearly large files. Okay, we have downloaded the Docker. If I download the Docker, I have to uh, restart the session and restart the Jenkins, and then I can just have to go give one code, restart, and then Jenkins will restart. I can give my username and then password. As I said before, should not share the username and password. As everyone knows, it is for security. Yes, we have to restart it. It is taking them some time. Sometimes, whenever you are downloading Docker, you have to restart the session because it next code will not work. I got it. Here I got it. Next, I can, as I downloaded the Docker, I can build it now because we will not be getting any errors. First, I got the codes from GitHub, then I converted into image, and next I'll be deploying it in Docker. Now also I got some errors. You have to check the errors and then you have to note it and command. To exit. I think the code is mistake. I got the error in code. Build a Docker. Oh yes, I made the error in code. We can view the error in using output. Oh, here I have to give space and dot. This is the correct. You have to give the correct syntax so that you will not be getting an error. Now I got this error. Docker build .in. I can view it here using output. I didn't download. console output. If you have errors, we can rectify it using the output and then command lines. I think the error is in VOL to Docker. Gotcha. Type in T. Just copying it. Docker image. I'm getting error in Docker image. Docker image. I'm getting error in Docker image. So stage the Docker image steps. What is the error? Next, I will deploy it. I think error in Docker image steps. Docker figure. So the Docker image. I got the error mistake in D, build hyphen T, and then name. Sorry, this is the correct syntax, and then I gave built instead of built. Now I'll be getting the correct. Likewise, you'll be having small mistakes, and then you'll be causing big errors. Created the Docker image. Next, you have to deploy it in containers. Next, you have to configure correct syntax for. So I think it'll be next. Uh, Docker and build.t in run and D for running in background. Hyphen P is for using port number 9090. Docker will be using 88 as a default port number. Now I'm going to give the port number as 9090, which will be using 90 port number. And then I'm going to give container name as I'll give it as contain. And then image name is Varneth. Here build is success. If I build it again, I'll be having error because container name we cannot give it a repeated name. You can see the error console output. Uh, Use the name. Here the container has reused the same name so that we cannot build it again. I'm going to delete the container and then we can start again. For that I have to add a command line as sketch hyphen stop doc okay, yeah, docker stop and then container contain next sketch docker. I have to remove the container, otherwise I can't use it again. Docker contain. Okay. Now you can apply it and then run them there. If I build it now, it will delete the container and then it will rebuild it. So that we can use again and again. Container we cannot use same name in one user. Here I build it output. Uh, Here it is build a success, and then you can view it using local IP slash file name. Have to give the file name. File name is maven web app maven web app. So have to give port number as 80. 1990 because it is running in 1990. I have deployed the container in 1990. Here I got the website. I'm deploying in a container and then it will deploy in Apache server. Jenkins first configure. We can give it as we can make it automated using build periodically. For this syntax, star space star space star space star space star. In this syntax, it will be deploying every minute. It will run the. It will build the Jenkins. If I give it and save, if you wait for 1 minute, it will deploy it automatically. In every cell, it will contain the day, year, month, hour, and then minute. It will contain the timing. If we change it here, it automatically deployed the container. Here it automatically deploy. If I wait another 1 minute, it will deploy automatically. Mostly, everyone will be using old SCM. In this, it will gives request to GitHub every minute, 1 minute, and then if any changes in GitHub code, then it will deploy it. If there is no changes in the GitHub code, it will not deploy in. It will not build again. This is how the Jenkins integration, continuous integration is made. That's all, guys. The session, I think session is good. Thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Soundariya,
Yeah, Varnith. So, anyone is having any doubt up to this? I hope it is clear for everyone. So, Krishna, can you conclude the session?
Yeah, just a minute. So yeah, first and foremost, with heartfelt thanks to Soundariya and Varneth for the insightful and engaging session of Jenkins. I would like to also thank each and everyone who involved in this session. Thanks for your active participation. Your curiosity and involvement is what makes the session more dynamic and impactful. Yeah, again, once again, thanks to Soundariya and Varneth. So can we have a group photo? Can you run switch on your cameras, please?
Yeah, sure, yeah, sure.
Varneth, Kamlesh, Arti, please.
Uh, okay.
Okay, fine.
Whether picture is done?
Yeah.
Okay, done.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank
Bye
you,
bye.
guys.